two massive British ships vanished into the frozen Arctic. 129 men entered the ice. None returned. For years, the world searched for answers. What they found was terrifying. Frozen bodies, abandoned camps, boats dragged across the ice, and evidence that the crew slowly lost hope, and possibly their sanity. The expedition was led by Sir John Franklin, one of Britain's most respected naval officers. Their mission sounded simple: find a route through the Arctic Ocean. A passage that could change global trade forever. The ships were considered the most advanced of their time. They carried engines, heated cabins, thousands of cans of food, and enough supplies for years. The crew believed they were prepared for anything. But the Arctic was something no human truly understood. At first, local Inuit hunters reported seeing the ships moving through the ice. Then, nothing. Silence. Months became years. Search teams entered the Arctic looking for survivors. Instead, they discovered signs of disaster. Tents abandoned in the snow, skeletons scattered across frozen islands, and strange notes left behind by dying sailors. One message revealed the horrifying truth: the ships had become trapped in the ice for years. The crew was starving, weak, dying. Some men collapsed while trying to escape south across the frozen wilderness. Others never even left the ships. But the darkest mystery came later. When investigators studied the remains, they discovered cut marks on human bones. Signs that some sailors may have turned to cannibalism to survive. The Arctic had transformed one of Britain's greatest expeditions into a nightmare. And even today, many believe the ice is still hiding secrets.
When the expedition left England, thousands gathered to watch. Families waved goodbye as the ships Terror and Erebus disappeared toward the north. Nobody imagined it would be the last time they were ever seen alive. The crews were confident. The British Empire dominated much of the world, and many believed technology had conquered nature itself. The ships carried reinforced hulls designed for Arctic ice. Steam engines helped them move through frozen waters, and massive food supplies were stored below deck. But hidden problems already existed. Many of the canned foods were sealed poorly. Scientists today believe lead poisoning may have slowly weakened the crew. At first, progress went smoothly. The expedition crossed dangerous waters and entered the Arctic archipelago. Then winter arrived. Temperatures dropped far below freezing. The ocean transformed into solid ice. The ships stopped moving. At first, the sailors believed the ice would melt in spring. But the Arctic had trapped.
By the second winter, conditions became catastrophic. The ships remained frozen in place. Crew members began dying. Scurvy weakened bodies already damaged by starvation and extreme cold. The men desperately hunted for food, but the Arctic offered little mercy. Some sailors reportedly wandered into storms and never returned. Others refused to leave their bunks. Fear spread through the expedition. Captain Franklin himself eventually died. Without strong leadership, discipline slowly collapsed. The surviving crew made a desperate decision. They would abandon the ships. Men dragged lifeboats filled with supplies across the frozen wilderness, but survival in the Arctic was almost impossible. Heavy snow slowed every step. Temperatures froze exposed skin within minutes. The sailors were starving, exhausted, hallucinating. Some collapsed directly onto the ice. Others continued walking until they simply disappeared into the Arctic storms. Years later, search teams discovered horrifying evidence: human bones scattered across campsites, broken equipment, and signs of desperation everywhere. One rescue team found a boat resting on a sled. Inside were skeletons, loaded firearms, silverware, and supplies the men had been too weak to carry further. It looked as if they had simply sat down and waited to die. For decades, the Franklin expedition became one of history's greatest mysteries. Search missions continued entering the Arctic long after the men had vanished. Many rescuers nearly suffered the same fate. The Arctic consumed ships, froze crews, and erased entire expeditions. But Inuit witnesses shared disturbing stories. They described starving white sailors wandering across the ice. Some collapsed from exhaustion. Others behaved strangely, As if driven mad by the endless cold, investigators later studied the bones recovered from Arctic camps. What they discovered shocked the world. Many bones contained cut marks, marks made by knives, evidence strongly suggested cannibalism. The crew of one of Britain's greatest expeditions had likely been forced to eat the dead to survive, and still, the full truth remains hidden beneath the ice. In 2014, one of the lost ships was finally discovered deep in the Arctic waters. Years later, the second ship was found as well. The wrecks were remarkably preserved by the freezing darkness. Tables, cabins, equipment, frozen in time. Even now, explorers continue searching for answers. What exactly happened during those final months? How long did the survivors endure the Arctic? And what horrors unfolded in the endless frozen night? The Franklin expedition remains one of humanity's most terrifying survival stories. Because in the Arctic, nature always wins.